catch me if I fall.
Good evening and welcome to Premier League Live on this Monday night. Another Premier League match week comes to an end and we are in East London at the London Stadium as West Ham welcome Brentford in a clash of two sides in very different fortunes. Brentford on the verge of that relegation zone. West Ham in the top half and looking to push for European football. We'll see how both sides fare tonight. Let's have a look at tonight's teams as David Moyes makes three changes to the side that were beaten 2-0 at Nottingham Forest with Calvin Phillips suspended is the enforced one. Tomas Souček replaces him in midfield while Konstantinos Mavropanos comes in into the defence. Naif Aguerd drops out while Lucas Paquetá is back. A huge relief for West Ham fans. The full side is as follows. Areola in goal. A back four of Soufal, Zouma the captain, Mavropanos and Emerson in a back four. Alvarez, Souček and Ward-Prowse make up the midfield three, with Lucas Paquetá, Kudus and Bowen making up the very pacey attack for West Ham. Also, Mikel Antonio is on the bench as well. For Brentford, Thomas Frank has made two changes to the side that lost to Manchester City last week. Keane Lewis-Potter is in for Mads Rushlev, while Neil Maupay returns to partner Ivan Toney in place of Johan Visa, who can only make the bench. On the Brentford starting 11 is as follows. Mark Flecken in goal, a back five of Lewis-Potter, Zanka, Christoph Ayer, Ben Mee and Sergio Reguilon, with a midfield of Frank Onyeka, Christian Norgard the captain and Matthias Jensen, with that front two of Neil Maupay and Ivan Toney. Two sides, as I mentioned, very different fortunes and very different hopes for the season. Brentford on the verge of relegation, West Ham on the verge of European football. Who will get the 3 points tonight? Kickoff at the London Stadium is on the way next. A very good evening to you. Welcome to Premier League Live here in LFS this Monday evening for this Monday night clash in East London. A London derby between West Ham and Brentford. Brentford having the best of the spoils in all of their top flight meetings, winning all five since Brentford's a kind of introduction to the Premier League a few years ago, winning all five games, both home and away in the Premier League since. They want to make it 6 from 6 tonight, although they're up against a West Ham side who are buoyed with Lucas Paquetá back in the side. And if they win tonight, West Ham could see themselves as high as 8th, going back above Wolves, who toppled them over their win against Sheffield United yesterday afternoon. Brentford, on the other hand, well, they want to kind of stave off that relegation battle, 5 points clear of the drop zone, and they want to extend that and push themselves back up the table closer towards Bournemouth. After Everton's point deduction was reduced today, they went above Brentford in the league table, pushing Brentford down to 16th. They want to avoid any possibility of a relegation battle. West Ham into their traditional claret and blue, and Brentford in their light blue tops with navy blue shorts, and they get us underway at the London Stadium as forever blowing bubbles is always, as tradition is sung around the London Stadium. We are underway for this Monday night clash, this Monday night London derby under the lights at the London Stadium. And it's really interesting talking about these two sides. It's two sides, I have to be honest, I haven't been keeping a very close eye on in recent weeks, let's be honest. they've not been highest of the agenda in terms of the Premier League. But tonight, it's an interesting one between these two teams, of course, knowing kind of what their capabilities are. I mean, West Ham and Brentford, kind of you could swap them out. If you look at last season, you could switch these two teams and not look any way about it from where they were last season. West Ham were kind of in this battle of relegation towards the end of the season, and Brentford were in that push for European football at the end of last season. So very different swapping of the fortunes between these two teams this season. Interesting enough, David Moyes has come under some pressure in recent weeks, of course, as we know, with that bad run of form that West Ham are on, are yet to win this calendar year, of course. So although they are in the top half of the table, they were even in a better position, even in 6th at one point this season. Here's Kudus, winning the ball high. In that rejuvenated West Ham attack, Kudus goes for the cross, but he completely slices through the ball, and it will run for a Brentford throw-in on the far side. We're having some technical difficulties with our match map there, as you can see. It is a bit behind. That is by no fault of our own. But I'll keep you right up to date with everything that's going on. Do not worry. You'll not miss a thing. Here on LFS tonight, Alvarez winning the battle in midfield and does really well to keep the possession. And Emerson gets it off him and wins West Ham a throw. Referee this evening, by the way, is Simon Hooper, and the VAR is Michael Oliver. Hopefully VAR won't need to be involved, but if needs be, it is there to help. Well, it's meant to be there to help. That's a lovely move by Ward-Prowse. Finds the ball to Emerson. Here's a chance for West Ham. The ball in, couldn't find Bowen. Really good move down the left-hand side from that throw-in. Matthias Jensen with the clearance to get it clear for a West Ham throw on the left again. Really good, nice link-up. Here's Alvarez. Finds it to Emerson on the left. Back to Edson Alvarez. Now across to Mavropanos, just on the centre circle. Lays it off to Vladimir Sofal. Goes down the line, trying to find the run of Bowen. Cut out by Ben Mee, but picked up by Suchek. Good play. Kudus dispossessed. But West Ham bodies there to pick up the loose ball. Fizzed out to the right to find Bowen. Takes it down nicely. Up against Reguilon. Blocked off by Reguilon first time. Bowen cuts it back to Sofal with the delivery and the header. Oh, and it's over the bar by Thomas Suchek. Such a good opportunity. Really good build-up play from West Ham again. From that right-hand side, Bowen cuts it back to Sofal. It comes off the head of Ward-Prowse. He just flicks it on. And coming in at the back post, completely unmarked, is Thomas Suchek. Straight right boot at it, but he's leaning back. And he fires it over the bar. Such a good opportunity early on for West Ham United. But they've started this game really, really well, the Hammers. Taking their time, patient in their build-up. Really nice football. Just lacking the clinical finish there from Thomas Suchek. Otherwise, West Ham could have an early lead. As they win the ball back again. Onyeka dispossessed this time. Alvarez finds it to Bowen. Oh, what a finish! That is gorgeous from Jared Bowen. Absolute cracker of a finish from the man who always delivers for West Ham United, who haven't got a win in 2024. We're coming to the end of February, and they've taken an early lead against Brentford and could be on course for their first league win of the calendar year. And Jared Bowen with an absolute banging finish to give them an early lead. And they've been pushing for it. Again, they win it back. Simple. Onyeka too easily pushed over. Nice movement by Suchek. Lays it off to Paquetá. Finds Ward-Prowse, and Ward-Prowse delivers it through. Emerson with a cutback, and Jared Bowen with the finish. Inside the 18-yard box. Uses his left boot to fire right behind the ball. Beautiful, intricate football to link it all up. To catch Brentford out. No chance. No one anywhere near marking or defending the positions. And Bowen has time and space in the 18-yard box. Strikes it with his left boot. And a slice of luck, really. It comes off the outside of his left boot. Hits the inside of the left post. And finds the back of the net past Mark Flecken. Lovely goal by Jared Bowen. And West Ham, and maybe a slice of luck that they duly deserve at the start of this game. West Ham 1, Brentford 0. And what a season Jared Bowen is having. That's his 12th Premier League goal of the season. Incredible form. And up there with the very best in this division this season. Absolutely wonderful from West Ham United. And they started incredibly well. I mean, one or two already good opportunities, good deliveries, good bits of build-up play. And they reaped the rewards of it. And they have a class finisher in Jared Bowen. One of the most clinical in the Premier League. That's why he has 12 goals. He is that clinical edged finisher. And here they come again. Here's Bowen. Space for West Ham to build again. Finds it through to Kudus on the edge of the box. Lays it off to Sofal. Sofal with a cross. Bowen! 2 in 2 minutes. Jared Bowen. That is fabulous from West Ham United. Dreadful from Brentford. Nowhere to be seen at the back. And Jared Bowen again. Lovely link up. Good football on the break from West Ham. And as I mentioned, that clinical finish in Jared Bowen there to just finish off the really, really intricate, crisp build-up play again. It's gorgeous. And Brentford really, they need to have a kind of congregation to figure out what has gone on again. It's a silly giveaway. Poor ball out from the back, latched upon by Soucek, just lays it off first time to Bowen. Bowen gives it to Kudus in space. Kudus then the overlap of Sofal, and Sofal first time with the right foot, straight across the 18-yard box, bobbling towards Jared Bowen, who just connects with it first time with his left boot. And when you're in high confidence, you're going to get high results. And Jared Bowen is second in the space of 2 minutes, has West Ham 2-0 up here. What an incredible start to this game. West Ham 2, Brentford 0, and Jared Bowen getting both. And that will certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons. As I said in my opener, Brentford have won all 5 top flight meetings between the sides in history. They've only met in the top flight since Brentford came into the Premier League a few years ago. That's the only top flight meetings between the sides, and Brentford had won all 5. Well, so far, it doesn't look like that trend's going to continue, because West Ham have come out fighting and given their everything in the first couple of minutes, and have got 2 goals. Absolute gorgeous from West Ham United. So check. Wanting to throw in there. Brentford will get it. Looking at the stats so far, 5 shots for West Ham, 2 on target, 51% possession, 7 touches in Brentford's box already. And it's all about that kind of quick, pacey, direct football, that intricate play that they love to do, West Ham. You know, how many times have we seen it under David Moyes? It works. We'll just wait on this long throw in from Jensen for Brentford. The body's in the box there. Left-footed delivery by Jensen deep into the box. Areola comes and collects and gets a comfortable grip to that ball for West Ham United. But as I'm saying, you know, David Moyes' kind of at West Ham, his philosophy is that pacey, counter-attacking football. But so far tonight, it's kind of been too simple in those attacking areas. I mean, Brentford, it's not been counter-attacking, pacey, direct football. The second goal is basically just they win the ball back in the midfield and they build it up nicely. They move quick, they get into nice areas, and they have the finisher. I mean, Brentford have been no competition. You know, they haven't left the dressing room yet, Brentford. They've had that slower start to this game. Incredible. And this is a West Ham side who, as I mentioned, haven't won this calendar year. They've scored just 1 goal in February, and that was here at the London Stadium in that 1-1 draw with Bournemouth. They'd scored 1 goal this month prior to this fixture. They'd failed to score in 3 successive Premier League games and conceded 11 on the bounce without reply before this game. Man United away, Arsenal at home and Forest away, losing 3-0, 6-0 and 2-0 in that time. And Brentford coming into this one, you know, I'm not saying they're in the best of form. They've lost 4 of the last 5. But, you know, you're coming to a West Ham side who are in terrible form. haven't won this year. And you're coming into this game completely dazed. And West Ham have come out firing. And David Moyes has certainly got them riled up for this one. And not to be honest, I mean, the West Ham players will know, they haven't been anywhere near their level this calendar year so far. Since 2024 started, they've had 4 draws and 4 defeats in all competitions since that 2-0 win over Arsenal back in the end of December. So they know that their level's not been good enough. But at the same time, Brentford should be coming into this one confident and feeling that, this is a West Ham side devoid of confidence, devoid of any kind of ability to score goals in the last couple of games. And against sides, Manchester United, they're not a great defensive side. We saw what they could deliver at home against Fulham. So that's not an excuse. And also away at Forest, a Forest side who are struggling themselves down at the bottom. So West Ham are struggling to score against those teams. Brentford should have been coming into this one thinking, we've got this. We should be able to do this. We perform and show up, and we should be able to get a result. So far, they haven't shown up. That's the problem. West Ham have shown up, and Brentford just haven't come to the party yet. So far, it's been a lull period in the last few moments. Brentford getting a good couple of touches on the ball, but West Ham not allowing them the space to build up. As Flecken fires the ball forward, Zuma wins it back. Only momentarily as Brentford try and play down the right hand side. Here's Ivan Toney. Nice ball, finds Keane Lewis-Potter in a nice space here. Here's Neil Maupay, gets one back. With their first shot of the game, Brentford have finally shown up and back in it in a matter of seconds. Their first shot of the game, and Brentford are straight back into the tie. Incredible. Their first real foray forward into a bit of space, and it's limp from West Ham. This is dreadful. No one anywhere near Keane Lewis-Potter. Time and space to turn on the ball, feed the ball through to Neil Maupay, who's nowhere near marked closely enough. No one gets in the way of Ivan Toney, allows him to make that pass, finds Lewis-Potter in space. Lewis-Potter just then feeds it into the box for Neil Maupay, and as he's fallen, he's lost his balance, and he just chips it around Alphonse Areola. That is dreadful from West Ham United. A great start to the game, but they've gone absolutely nowhere there. That is shocking defending, and that's why they haven't won a game in 2024, because they're defending like that. That is awful defending, but that will give Brentford a lot of confidence that this game is far from done. But it's really good movement by Brentford in those attacking areas. They found the space, they played the nice ball. It's just shocking that. Neither team has defended well in the early minutes. That's why we have early goals. 3 goals in the space of 13 minutes. As West Ham win the ball back with Paquetá. I have to say, Brentford did respond well to going 2 down. They've had a bit more of the ball. They were finding their passes. They were kind of relaxing into the game. And the first real chance they get to come forward, West Ham just allow them the time and space. It's literally identical to what Brentford did in terms of the second goal for West Ham. No one engaging, no one stepping in, no one wanting to block players, block passes, kind of mark players closely. We're just given the freedom of the pitch, the Brentford players there, to move where they wanted, pass wherever they wanted, and then they find the finish. And Neil Maupay, who's in good form himself in the Premier League, rejoined Brentford and in good form, and they come forward again. Ball into the box, not cleared properly by West Ham. Here's Norgard. Lewis-Potter, right-footed delivery. Just overhit that one. And Reguilon shoved down there. Kudus, though, not the one penalised. Till Simon Hooper has a bit to deal with as Brentford surrounding the referee, the Brentford players. Just see this again. That's awful from... What is Kudus doing? He just elbows into the back of Sergio Reguilon, and it's in the box. He's lucky there, because that is so... it's stupidity. He gets away with it because West Ham have a throw-in, but That is stupidity from Mohamed Kudus. Literally just shoves a man over in the box and trying to defend the position, and almost could have, in some other case, could have given away a penalty. Luckily for him, he didn't, and it is still West Ham 2, Brentford 1. A fantastic start to this game for the neutral. Neither set of fans will be happy with the way their team has kind of dealt with this. I mean, West Ham got off to a cracking start. Their fans would have been buzzing with the start they had, but they kind of let it fade. Allowed Brentford to have a chance back into the game. They now got that goal back. This all happened in a matter of minutes, but here comes Sofal. Lovely cross! Left in there, and Paquetá with a back shot. And it's over the bar. Good opportunity again. Sofal, I mean, no one in the way of it again. Jensen allows him just to skip past him. Shocking again. And the cutback from Sofal's a nice ball into the box. And Souček couldn't latch onto it in the box, and then it bobbles its way to Paquetá, and he's just leaning back when he takes the strike and fires it over the bar. Goes for a goal kick. I think both teams need to settle. Seems to be they're a bit too panicky at the moment. Neither team really wants to take the ball down and play it about. Neither team really wants to have that possession, control, the play kind of intricate or kind of possessive football. They want to get to the byline. They want to get to the final third really quickly. They're both very direct at the minute. And you have a game like that, goes end to end. I mean, it's not going to help either defence, really. If you have a game that's just going back and forth. West Ham dispossessed. Tony picking up the ball. Now fed off to Norgard. Gives it out to the right-hand side. Here's Lewis Potter. Got Brentford bodies in chase. Lays it off to Tony. Now Lewis Potter. All the way back it comes as Brentford hold the ball through Norgard. But again, I mean, I don't know how to assess the first 17 minutes so far. I mean, the first 7-8 minutes, it was all West Ham. Then after West Ham took a 2-goal lead, they kind of stepped off take their foot off the pedal a bit, kind of relaxed a bit, and allowed Brentford a goal back. Allowed them a bit more of the possession, allowed them a bit more of the ball, and then they got the ball. They got the goal back instantly. Brentford. I mean, a bit silly. Onyeka there with the challenge. West Ham get the free kick, and Thomas Frank making it known to the fourth official he doesn't agree with that decision. Not happy with that one. I mean, he's probably making the claim that Mohamed Kudus fouled a player of his in the box and he didn't get a foul for it. Seemed to be the case that he was making. Would make sense as Kudus rides another challenge. Won the ball back off Reguilon there. I'm sure that battle between Kudus and Reguilon will continue throughout this game. As Areola fires it up the pitch. Ben Mee sends it back the way it came, but couldn't keep it in play. Oh, he did keep it in play, sorry. He did. West Ham win it back. It seemed a bit strange there. Everybody stood still for a second. It's Ivan Toney trying to win it back. Battling with Sofal. Shoved off the ball by Sofal and he fires it long. Looking for Bowen, who was in an offside position. That's what I mean. End to end. It's just neither team wants to take the ball down and just play possessive football. It's like both want a counter-attacking approach, but you can't both counter-attack. It's not how football works. I mean, it might help the neutral. We might get a more decent attacking game. We've already seen a very good attacking game, and Brentford dispossessed at the back again. Bowen nicks it off the centre-back, and he's hacked at the edge of the D there, but referee said it was a fair foul, or a fair challenge. And has now given Brentford a free kick there, which to the distaste of the West Ham fans and players. Jared Bowen went down there. And it's awful from Christopher Ajer. Terrible. Just allows Bowen to nick the ball away from him. That is a foul. I mean, honestly. That is it's a poor challenge again by Ajer. He just tries to win the ball back, and the referee says he got all of the ball, but he didn't. He took Jared Bowen out in the process. And then it comes the other way. Brentford win the free kick because Ajer was challenged by Paquetá. That was a foul, but The first one was a foul. West Ham should have got the free kick there. Nonetheless, comes to nothing. Here's Souček. Chests it down. Finds Kudus. Kudus with the ball in. Back to Paquetá. Just wide from Lucas Paquetá. He's making a real impact since coming into the game. Back in the West Ham team and certainly back in the heavily involved in it. Kudus with a nice delivery. Chipped it all the way through. Looping back into the 18-yard box. And Paquetá takes it with his left. But it's the outside of his left. And it always was drifting wide of the left post. As he's won it back again, Paquetá. Bit relentless from West Ham here. Good response to conceding that goal. Here's Kudus. Takes a shot from distance, but went wide and quite firmly wide of the goal. But that's a bit better. Good response. The kind of frantic game, end to end, kind of West Ham reasserting the control of the game a bit now. Taking proper control. That's nice from Kudus. Breaks away from two. Finds Souček. Now Kudus again. To Sofal on the right. Has to go back. Goes back to Mavropanos on the halfway line. Cross to Zuma. Now Ward-Prowse. Alvarez. To Sofal. Good play. Kudus linking up nicely with Souček. Gets it back from Souček. Finds Kudus again. Here comes Kudus down the right flank. Challenged there by Region. Fouled by Region. And a referee pulled out the yellow card there against Sergio Region, who's completely incensed with the decision. As I said, that battle would continue throughout the game. And it's just a cynical challenge by Region. He's not got the ball. Nowhere near the ball and just kind of puts a late challenge in on Kudus. Leaves a one in on him in the process, and I think the referee was right to give the free kick. And arguably right to give the yellow card as well. Not the most mature of responses there from Sergio Region. And he's the first man in the book tonight. I'm sure he feels slightly aggrieved that he didn't get the free kick or a possible penalty at the other end, but that was the decision. I think he's lucky to get away with that, but nonetheless, Region giving away a free kick. Ward-Prowse to take the free kick. Right-footed delivery, whipped in, didn't beat the first man. Ward-Prowse gets it back, lays it off to Kudus. Region one of the Brentford players just slipped there. We've got a cheer from the West Ham crowd, but West Ham still piling on the pressure as Paquetá delivers. Zoom up for the header, but he could only head it away from goal rather than towards it. West Ham doing well to pin Brentford in at the moment, but Brentford won the throw. Maupay there. Took the throw, give it to Norgard. Back to me. Chips it over the midfield. Lovely from Maupay to turn and wins another throw in. Game's ebbed and flowed. West Ham having a couple of chances in the last few moments to get their way back into it. Brentford only the one shot. That one going into the back of the net from Neal Maupay. They come down the right again, but the ball in. It's easily dealt with by Konstantinos Mavropanos. West Ham back in possession with Alvarez. As Ivan Toney in close proximity, but does incredibly well there, Edson Alvarez, to beat the challenge of Ivan Toney. Brentford win it back through Norgard. Finds Toney. Ivan Toney looking for a pass. Gets to the byline, cuts it across, bouncing through, but directed wide for the corner. Really good from Ivan Toney. Just when you think he's run out of room, he just breaks. Nice burst of pace. Gets to the byline, looking for the cut across, and Alphonse Areola got in the way of it and give Brentford the corner. Good again from Brentford though. Take it short as the cross from Jensen deflected off Ward-Prowse, and will be another Brentford corner. 25 minutes gone. West Ham 2, Brentford 1. here at the London Stadium. It actually isn't quite full tonight. Just seeing the seats on the far stand as the Brentford ball comes in. Cleared away. Nicely headed away, but Paquetá, the first man. Region with the delivery, but couldn't find any of his own players in there. Goes out for a throw-in. I think Jensen's going to go for another one of these long throws from the right-hand side. He's not. Oh, no, he is. He's just changed his mind. They were set up for a short throw there, Brentford, and now they've switched into a long throw formation. As Jensen delivers it into the box. Flicked on by Ayer. Still bouncing around. Cleared away by Paquetá. Back out to Jensen. Lewis Potter with a low delivery. Was hacked away by Mavropanos. The bounce beats the West Ham player, and Jensen wins it back. He delivers, but cleared away again. And then it goes out for the Brentford throw. Bit nervy there from West Ham. Couldn't clear their lines convincingly. As Jensen tried to steal a few yards from the throw-in. He did take the throw-in, gets it back. Jensen with a delivery. Away again. I think it was Souček up that time as the ball comes back into the West Ham box. Mavropanos with a header away, and the offside flag was up anyway against one of the Brentford players in there. It was Zanka, the centre-back, who was in an offside position. Have to say, it's not been a controlled game so far. I haven't been able to gather my thoughts in terms of how kind of ebbing and flowing it's been, how kind of, I don't know, it's just not been very controlled from either team. I've said it, have short spells, but nothing really convincing. Oh, Jesus. West Ham playing about at the back there. Zuma lays it off to Alvarez as they try and come forward again. So far, West Ham still leading by 2-1, but want to add to that lead. Here's Kudus. Will certainly be a help in that. Takes it to the byline, looking for the cross in. It's cleared away again by Ayer. And then West Ham dealt the blow as it's gone out for a Brentford throw in there, which brings their attack to a premature end. I think Brentford will be the happier of the two teams, despite being 2-1 down, but it could have been even worse behind in this game, considering West Ham went 2 up within 7 minutes. Brentford getting that goal back will give them confidence, but also the fact that it hasn't got any worse. I've kind of come to grips with that. The way West Ham have attacked them so far really give them that confidence. And certainly the fact that they are back in the game, considering that they could have been much further of a deficit that they could have been facing. But it's only 2-1. As I said, with West Ham's defensive record, it's not uncommon that they concede in games. I mean, look at West Ham. I mean, it's not been great, really, to be honest. They've only one clean sheet this calendar year. That was the 0-0 draw with Brighton here at the London Stadium. That was a good result, to be fair, for West Ham on that occasion, getting something out of Brighton, but who were in good form themselves at that point. But it was their only clean sheet of 2024, and they couldn't score in that game. Another night without a clean sheet here. And, you know, we know how much David Moyes loves that defensive football, that loves how strong his defence is and how resilient and how kind of physical his defenders are at times. David Moyes, that's the type of character he likes in his defensive side. The likes of Mavropanos and Azuma, those strong commanding centre-backs who are going to get at kind of strikers physically. But so far tonight, I mean, that Brentford move in the build-up to the goal, There was no physicality defensively from West Ham. They were nowhere near kind of getting in the way of the Brentford bodies at all. I mean, Ivan Toney given the time and space. I mean, it's kind of so naive to just allow Ivan Toney the time and space on the ball. So West Ham win it here. High up with Bowen. He's been great at winning those balls in the final third all night. Lays it off to Ward-Prowse on the left. Lacking bodies in the middle, but Jared Bowen stayed out wide. Trying to take their time, West Ham. Paquetá. Inside run. Bowen linking it up to Kudus, who's just blocked off there by Christopher Ayer. And cleared away for a West Ham throw, but it was good again. Not rushing at West Ham. Waiting for the right pass, waiting for the right move. Almost made it work again. Alvarez. Finds Emerson. Now Ward-Prowse. Back to Paquetá and trying to work in that tight space down the left-hand sideline. And the ball goes out of play. Paquetá wanted a foul, but that's not a free kick. Just goes out for a Brentford throw. Well, if West Ham do win this game, as I mentioned, they would go back up to 8th in the table. Level on points with Brighton, but behind them on goal difference. So still certainly would give them more belief in that hunt for European football, considering the form that they've been in, West Ham. A win would certainly take the pressure off, but not be all rosy in the garden for West Ham yet, as this is still a very tight game. 32 minutes gone, West Ham 2, Brentford 1. West Ham come forward again down the left hand side. Emerson, Paquetá to Ward-Prowse now. Now to Emerson on the left hand side, looking for a space, finds it out to Paquetá on the left. Back infield to Emerson, he's just inside the box, chips it across. Kudus was there, but Kudus couldn't get a clear connection on it to direct it towards goal, and it went wide for a goal kick. And Flecken had no trouble there, really. Again, it's nice intricate football from West Ham. Brentford still struggling to get in the grips of that, get it away from those dangerous West Ham bodies. As Ward-Prowse wins it back again. Here's Kudus, edge of the box, trying to work an angle. Kudus gets the shot off, but straight down the throat of Mark Flecken, luckily for Brentford and their keeper. That was much more of a direct move from West Ham, wasting no time in that one. And they got the shot off from the edge of the box from Kudus. Here's Reguilon. Jensen. Finds Norgard. Now to Zanka. Down the right is Lewis Potter. Back to Zanka. Just inside the West Ham half. Back to Ayer. Across to Ben Mee. Patient from Brentford. Here's Jensen. Back to Ben Mee. As the home crowd inside the London Stadium sings "Come on you Irons" to support their side. They want their side to get back to the way they were playing within 10 minutes. They were blistering in the first 10 minutes, West Ham. Unstoppable. Unmatchable. Here's Ben Mee back inside his own 18-yard box. Tries to deliver it down the line, but that's a poor ball. Miscommunication with Reguilon, and West Ham have it back. Kudus goes back to Alvarez. Patient from West Ham there. They waited for Brentford to make the mistake. They pressured them a slight bit and then forced them into making that mistake. Patient from West Ham. And again, the slight press forces a mistake from Matthias Jensen, and Brentford give away another throw in. West Ham have it on the left. Nice throw in. Good link up with Paquetá, looking for a ball in. Away again. Dealt with by Brentford and Jensen, trying to get them on the break. Toney Mopé, nice move. Lewis Potter chasing it. Mavropanos in cover. Does really well to put it out for the throw-in. But Konstantinos Mavropanos spotted the danger and dealt with it duly. As Tony could have burst it across the box, but Suchek there to clear it away. No messing about there from Brentford, but all the way back again. Here comes Matthias Jensen again, though, down that right-hand side. As I was saying, Brentford or West Ham have had a terrible start to 2024. Not kind of the way they expected to start 2024, considering the way they ended 2023. As the ball comes in here from Brentford, cleared away. Jensen brings it down. Jensen in the box. Can he work an angle? Chips it across. Suchek, calm as you like, chests it into his keeper's hands. Ramazariola tries to send West Ham on the counter. The clearance from Ayer, not dealt with well as Kudus rides another challenge. And he's broke free here, Mohamed Kudus. Can he deliver one forward? Goes for goal. Goes wide. Dragged it wide, Mohamed Kudus there. Had an opportunity. I think it was Ward Price that had it was in space on the left. Bowen does well, puts pressure on Ayer. Ayer just terrible ballooned header. Straight down to Kudus. Breaks past Region, then gets past kind of Norgard in the cover and gets into space, drives up the middle and looks to go for goal himself. He had options but decided to go for glory himself and just bobbled wide of the right post and behind for a goal kick. There's certainly the threat is still very much there for West Ham on the break. Here comes Jensen. He wants to shoot from distance, blocked off easily by Suchek. Clearance put Brentford under pressure as Ben Mee gives it to Region. Short pass given away to West Ham again. Mavropanos up the line. Ball kept in play. West Ham lose the possession as Ben Mee gives it straight down the line to Tony. He couldn't find a pass himself and West Ham have it back again. Here's Zuma. Now to Sofal. Nice touch away from his man. And now Kudus does well to skip infield. Plays it across to Ward Price. Down the left-hand side is Paquetá. Emerson in the overlap. Has to go back to Ward Price though. Now he gives it out to Emerson. Paquetá again. 7 minutes to go plus additional time of the first half. And again West Ham with those cute chips and flicks in the intricate build-up play. But this time Ayer there to saunter it away. And out for another West Ham throw-in. But as I was saying, an unexpectedly poor start to 2024 for West Ham, considering how they ended 2023. They'd won 4 of their last 5 league games, or 4 of their last 5 games in all competitions in 2023, keeping the clean sheet in on all 4 of those wins. Their only defeat in the end of 2023 in their last 5 games was away to Liverpool in the Cup. And that was a big defeat, but the last 5 results of 2023 were all 4 of them wins. So it's not like it's been writings on the wall for West Ham coming into 2024. It's just been not a great start. And they've given away goals in big games. In the likes of an Arsenal game where it was just an awful performance here. I mean, it was quite shocking really. I think it was the last West Ham game I commentated on and it was kind of like you were shocked at watching West Ham and you were like, what actually are they doing? Because they just didn't show up that day and Arsenal tore them to bits. And it was dreamland for Arsenal that day. I mean, they had no competition whatsoever in that game. I mean, West Ham were no kind of threat at all. No threat whatsoever on that day. And that was at home too. It was West Ham's last home game. So it's not that they were in a tough away stadium and it just didn't go for them. Their home crowd were still here. I mean, credit to them, they were still here at the very end. But it was shocking, that game from West Ham. They started this one a lot better. They want to end the first half better than what they've kind of done in the last 20 minutes. And they want to throw a free kick off Neil Maupay there. Paquetá winning that free kick. Just inside the Brentford half. We certainly had a lot of shots in this game in the first half. West Ham 12 shots to Brentford's 2. Well, they've had less of the possession, 45% to Brentford's 55, so a lot less there. Don't forget, we have more midweek action for you in here on LFS. We are at the FA Cup, 5th round of the FA Cup. Double-header action this midweek. We start tomorrow at Kenilworth Road as Manchester City, the holders of the FA Cup, head to Luton in that all-Premier League tie. That's tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Oh, Suchek there on the head of the delivery over the bar. And then on Wednesday night we have Liverpool, who won the first trophy of the season, as we watched yesterday here on LFS. Yesterday in that Carabao Cup win over Chelsea. Who knows what side they'll put out on Wednesday night at home against Southampton in the 5th round of the FA Cup. We will find out. You can watch both of those games, commentaries and updates, match play-by-play of those games here on LFS tomorrow and Wednesday night. And we'll also have the quarter-final draw also on Wednesday night as well, after that Liverpool-Southampton game. So stay tuned for that, and we'll have all those details of where the quarter-finals and who will be in those quarter-finals on Wednesday nights. We will have the confirmation of our first quarter-finalist tonight, by the way. It seems. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Here's Matthias Jensen. I'll actually talk about that at half-time for you. Zanka. Lewis Potter. To Norgard. Finds Jensen. Through the lines. Finds Ivan Toney. Coming a bit deeper. Getting more involved in the build-up. Gives it wide to Reguilon on the left. Has to go back to Jensen. Finds Ben Mee. Bricking forward. Nice link up with Lewis Potter. Now Reguilon. Look for the cross. Deflected off Sofal. Brentford get the throw. It's better play from Brentford there. Brentford sitting comfortably at the moment. Not massive amounts of pressure really coming upon them. In some of this throw in, I'm going to go long again on the left hand side. Long throw around the 6-yard box, flicked on by Ayer, but straight out of play by the Brentford centre back. Goal kick to West Ham. So 2 minutes plus additional time to go. The first half, and a pretty frantic first 13 minutes has lulled its way through. Goals galore first 13 minutes. Both teams have fizzled out in this first half. It's been, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't say that Thomas Frank will be happy at half-time, but well, he'd definitely be happy that, one, his side didn't make it worse after 7 minutes, that it didn't get any worse than that, and it actually got better for them, and they've managed the game since then. So he will be happy about that fact. He'll not be happy that they're 2-1 down, but he'd be happy that, considering how they started, that they're still very much in the game. Well, David Moyes will know the exact opposite. Despite them starting so well, there is a risk that this game could easily be taken away from them, and a quick start to the second half for Brentford could massively take this game away from West Ham. But, you know, the quality they've got on the pitch, West Ham, they need to reinvigorate that. You know, that front four of Paquetá, Ward-Prowse, Kudus and Bowen are filled with quality and ability to take the game by the scruff of the neck and kind of carry West Ham to 3 points, but we haven't done that so far this calendar year. Paquetá back in the side is a big boost for them. You have a free kick here on the left hand side, West Ham. Ward-Prowse to take it. Brentford playing along a very high line as Ward-Prowse with the ball in. Suchek! Again missing the target. Had to come sliding in to connect with the ball. And again he scooped it over the bar, but the flag was up against him anyway. Yeah, he was never onside. He was offside the whole way up to the ball was taken, and he never got himself back onside. So that was, even if it had went in the back of the net, it would have been ruled out. So 45 minutes have elapsed, and we will have 3 added minutes at the end of this first half. First, a minute for each goal that we've seen in the first 45. Brentford a bit loose on the, or West Ham a bit loose on the ball, giving it back to Brentford, and Ivan Toney pushed by Kudus. Will be a Brentford free kick here. Good area on the left hand side, lovely from Region. Spotted the run of Toney on the left hand side, and Kudus knew he got past him. All he could do was shove him to the floor, and Ivan Toney took that with delight and got them a free kick. There's Region standing over this one for Brentford. A good chance for a delivery. Good opportunity to level the game before half time even. Whistle from Simon Hooper goes. Region awaiting. It's left footed ball in. It's deep to the back post. Headed away by West Ham. Not fully cleared though as Mopay puts it back into the danger zone. Ivan Toney! Hit the missed the target completely, but he was offside in any case. Difficult job there for the assistant on that side. Did figure out what was on and offside, but did a good job of it. Yeah, it's a crowded area, but Toney just slightly offside with that left boot. He left it kind of hanging, and that played him offside. Mavropanos just stepped up in the nick of time and was offside, but it was off target anyway, so would have mattered. As Areola clears from the goal kick. West Ham bringing under control through Kudus. Again, really good close control by Mohamed Kudus. West Ham got the throw in. Brentford didn't feel that was a West Ham ball, but the officials didn't agree. And we'll talk about this first half and analyse what went wrong for both teams in this first half, where we are, why we are where we are at the end of the first 45. Plus we'll talk about that FA Cup action as well, and a bit of a reaction to the Carabao Cup final as well. All that to come at half time. There's Ward-Prowse scrambling to win the ball back there, as Brentford could have had a good counter attack. He does well again after giving the ball away. Goes to the ground and does really well to kind of see out the first half, which has run out of time, and Simon Hooper blows the whistle to call to an end the first half, which started off at frantic nature. Jared Bowen with 2 goals in 2 minutes to give West Ham a fantastic start within 7, but Brentford reacted well. Neil Mopay with the goal to get Brentford back into the game. It kind of lulled towards the end of the first half, and that is where we stand. West Ham United 2, Brentford 1 at half time.
Catch me if I fall.
Welcome back to Premier League Live, half-time at the London Stadium. It is West Ham United 2, Brentford 1 at the interval, and, well, it's got off to a perfect start for West Ham in the game, taking the lead after just 5 minutes from Jared Bowen. They'd started the game really, really well, West Ham. Electric start for them. Incredible start, and they finally found the breakthrough after just a couple of minutes through Jared Bowen. 2 nice finishes within the space of 2 minutes to give them a 2-goal lead. And that's got his 12th and 13th goals of the Premier League season in that one. And then Brentford reacted really well to that start from West Ham. They got a goal back from basically nothing. Poor defending from West Ham, couldn't get in the way of the ball and get the block on the Brentford break, and Keane Lewis Potter fed in Neil Maupay, who even lost his balance and still got the ball into the back of the net to give one back for Brentford. The game ebbed and flowed. Now the team could really take control of it. West Ham probably had the better of it towards the end of the half, but couldn't better anything on their lead, and it is where we stand at half time. West Ham leading by just a 2-1 lead at the break in this London derby. We've already had some dramatic results this Premier League weekend. It all started actually on last Tuesday night when Liverpool played Luton. That game, of course, rescheduled because of the cup final, so Liverpool easing to victory that night. Then, from this weekend, of course, Chelsea and Tottenham's game was postponed due to that cup final. Villa got a win against Nottingham Forest in that the derby. Well, not really a derby. A good affair in the Midlands between those two teams. A 6-goal thriller, with Villa scoring 4-2 winners over Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa back inside the top 4 and extending that lead on Spurs. Of course, with Spurs not playing this weekend, they could give that a bit of a gap. It is a 5-point gap between 4th and 5th at the moment. Brighton got a last-minute equaliser against Brentford at the Amex. Brighton had the better of the early spells of the game, but couldn't take the lead. They actually had a man sent off and Billy Gilmore in the second half with 9 minutes to go. That was after Everton had taken the lead through Jared Branthwaite. They made a lot of changes in that one, Brighton, and they finally got their last-minute equaliser, 95th minute equaliser from Lewis Dunk to give Brighton a point out of that game, which they probably felt that they deserved at the very least, considering they had 23 shots, 7 shots on target, 65% possession. They dominated the game, Brighton, and they just got a draw out of it. They rescued a draw, and possible would have been a huge win for Everton. Of course, Everton in the news today after their 10-point deduction that was initially imposed by the Premier League for breaching financial rules was reduced after appeal by an independent panel to 6 points. So Everton have 4 points reinstated. I'll actually show you how that affects the table in a moment. Crystal Palace got a win under Oliver Glasner, his first game in charge. Winning ways indeed for Crystal Palace against a Burnley side who were down to 10 as well in that one. After just 35 minutes, Josh Brownhill with a last-man challenge got a straight red. It was 0-0 at half-time at Sellers Park, but a good second half from Crystal Palace eased them to victory. Chris Richards, Jordan Ayew and Jean-Philippe Mateta from the penalty spot, giving Crystal Palace 3 points in a game where Burnley didn't have a shot on target in the game. It looks really slim pickings for Burnley and Sheffield United at the moment, who both sit rock bottom of the Premier League table. A shock result at Old Trafford as well at the weekend. Manchester United 1, Fulham 2 at Old Trafford, and maybe Manchester United thought they'd turned a corner, having won 5 games in all competitions on the bounce, but defeat at home against the side they should be beating at Old Trafford. But last-minute winner from Alex Iwobi denied them anything at Old Trafford. They went 1 down in the game. Calvin Bassey with the goal to give Fulham a lead. Harry Maguire thought he'd rescued them a point with a minute to go, but it was a 97th minute winner from Alex Iwobi that decided the points, and Fulham go to Old Trafford and pick up all 3 against Manchester United. It was a win on the road for Manchester City in their chase back against Liverpool in that title race. Bournemouth actually were arguably at times more threatening of the two teams. Should have had more than what they got, but in the end, poor finishing and poor decision making let them down. Man City made their 1-goal advantage from Phil Foden count in the end, and that's what got them the 3 points. A tight game, not the most kind of exciting affair for Manchester City, and not the most convincing of performances, or 3 points, but it's 3 points nonetheless. In a difficult circumstance, Man City got the victory and another clean sheet there. Very rare to come across for Man City in recent times. Arsenal themselves couldn't keep a clean sheet, but they did get a very convincing victory over Newcastle, 4-1 winners in that one. And were 4-0 up before Joe Willock got a goal back, a consolation for Newcastle late in the game. They had only 2 shots on target in the game, Newcastle. dreadful, really, in that one from them. Shocking, considering where they have been in recent times, and not the performance Eddie Howe would have wanted this week, going to the Emirates and being absolutely smacked to pieces. Yesterday, the Premier League action was kind of pretty secondary to all of our minds, but in the end, it was a good win for Wolves. And Gary O'Neill, who's done an incredible job at Molineux, getting a 1-0 win over Sheffield United, should have been more convincing, but Pablo Sarabia's goal was the difference between the two sides on the day. Wolves side who dominated the game. But in terms of the shots, they were poor finishing. 2 shots on target in the game for Wolves from their 13 shots. But they did get the victory and did get that 1 goal that sealed the 3 points for them. And of course, West Ham 2, Brentford 1. Right, before we get to the second half very shortly, let's just have a look at the league table and see where we stand in the league at the moment. Liverpool leading the way. After 26 games, 12 games to go, it's Liverpool with 60 points, Man City with 59, and Arsenal with 58. So a very, very tight 3-horse race at the top of the Premier League table. Aston Villa closely following behind on 52. And then come Spurs, 5 points behind that, but they have a game in hand over Aston Villa on 47. Manchester United, who should have closed the gap to Spurs, is just goal difference at the weekend with a result. With their result going against them, their 10th defeat of the season. That's the 5th time since Sir Alex Ferguson retired that Man United have lost 10 games in the league in a season. 44 points for them. Brighton on 39 after they rescued a point against Everton. West Ham, as it stands, with winning here, would go up to 8th, above Wolves, who'd gone up to 8th after their big win against Sheffield United. Gary O'Neill's done an incredible job there, getting them into the top half, considering they were pipped for relegation at the start of the season. Incredible job he's doing. Newcastle in 10th, and as you go down to the bottom of the table, I'll explain the Everton kind of situation for you. Chelsea in 11th. But they'll not want to talk about their recent performances after that result yesterday. Fulham, big 3 points for them away at Manchester United on Saturday afternoon, 32 points, breaking away from that any relegation pack. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth also consolidating, but Bournemouth losing and dropping down below Palace on goal difference. Everton up to 15th, getting their 4 points back, considering they were in 17th on 21 points, got 4 points back, of course, from that commission appeal. Takes them above Brentford on 25 at the moment as well, and Nottingham Forest on 24. Luton in the bottom 3 on 20. They have a game in hand on all the teams above them, and Burnley and Sheffield United on 13 as well. I looked at the Opta stats earlier this afternoon before this game, and I looked at the percentage chance of relegation for the teams down at the bottom. Sheffield United's chances of relegation are 99.6%. Burnley's is 99.4%, so very slim pickings, very, very little, if any chance. A miracle is needed for either Sheffield United or Burnley to stay up this season. They need almost double the points that they have accumulated already this season to get anywhere near safety. That looks nigh on impossible, considering the fact that they've both not scored many goals this season, 22 and 25 respectively, and both lost 19 of their 26 league games this season. Dreadful. That is where we stand on that front. Just to remind you, though, before we go to the second half, because we have a lot to talk about, and I've run along, I talked a lot more than I probably should have, but nonetheless, we are here where we are, about 4 minutes away from the second half getting underway at the London Stadium. Where West Ham lead Brentford by 2-1. Don't forget, as I mentioned, FA Cup action in midweek. Luton against Manchester City is tomorrow at 8 o'clock, followed by Liverpool and Southampton on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And we will have the live FA Cup quarter-final draw for you on Wednesday night as well. In the FA Cup, we have one game tonight in the FA Cup, and that is Coventry's home tie against Maidstone United. And they look fairly comfortable at the moment, Coventry City, having a 3-goal lead. 3-0 they lead Maidstone United in that one. Ellis Sims with all 3 goals. A hat-trick for Ellis Sims in the first half has them 3 goals to the good against Maidstone United. So it looks like the lowest ranked side left in the FA Cup will be leaving the competition tonight, barring a miracle comeback in the second half, but who knows. They are 3-0 down at half time. Now, right, a couple of minutes to go before the second half gets underway at the London Stadium, and I'm not going to get depth into the cup final yesterday because we don't have enough time. But let's just say Chelsea and that whole reaction, I mean, their season, can it get any worse than what it is now? Losing probably their best chance to beat Liverpool in a cup final yesterday, and they still couldn't do it. That Virgil van Dijk winner in the 118th minute, the second last minute of extra time, Virgil van Dijk winning it for Liverpool on the day. They sit 11th in the league table. They are, at the moment, I mean, they're still in the conversation of European football. I mean, they're only 4 points off European football, plus they have a game in hand, so they're not out of it yet. Very much not out of it, but I mean, there's very little hope. There's very little positivity around Chelsea, and we'll see how they end the season. 13 games to go for them. How they need to end it well, otherwise they could find themselves in a very difficult position. Richard Pochettino kind of pressured into talking about that, kind of how his project is going, and I mean, it's still very early. It's only his first season in charge. But it doesn't look good for Chelsea at the moment. Definitely not. Liverpool certainly on cloud 9 at the moment, and Jurgen Klopp's farewell tour off to the perfect start yesterday in that Carabao Cup win. Their 10th win, which is a record in that competition. Right, the second half from the London Stadium between West Ham and Brentford is on the way next. Do stay with us here in LFS.
Catch me if I fall.
Welcome back to Premier League Live. The second half from the London Stadium is on the way in the next minute or so. West Ham leading Brentford by 2-1 in this London derby. Both sides back out on the field, ready to get the second half on the way. Fairly positive, fairly kind of indifferent first half, really. I don't think either side will be overly happy, or the other side will be bitterly disappointed with that first half performance. One of those strange ones where there is a team winning, but neither side will be massively disappointed with how the first half has gone. West Ham were on a very good start to the game and phased out. Maybe had a good end to the half, but couldn't make the most of it. Brentford could have found themselves very much out of the game, but are still very much in it. So positives for both teams as we're back underway at the London Stadium for another 45 minutes of football. And another half where let's hope we can have the great start to the second half that we did to the first half in this one. Let's be honest. David Moyes will be hoping for the same, and just be hoping his side doesn't concede the way he did in the first half, as Kurt Zouma challenging a few to win the ball. And of course this is important. The 3 points at this stage of the season is massively important for teams in various different aspirations. Bowen couldn't carry the ball with him, but again Brentford can't break out. Well, the short pass from Edson Alvarez, actually a foul committed by Nomo Pay, and Paquetá win the free kick. Yes, so the 3 points very important for these two sides. I mean, West Ham, who are winning at the moment as it stands, would go up to 8th. Brentford would stay in 16th and would be at 5 points off the drop. But remember that Luton do have a game in hand, so there's still a lot to play for on that front, in terms of the fact that if Luton win their game in hand, Brentford could be very much dragged into the relegation question alongside Nottingham Forest and Everton in that battle. So Brentford need points and want to get them. They have a good chance here, but West Ham have the free kick to start the second half. Ward-Prowse with the delivery, lots of bodies running at it, but the ball escaped away from them, and I think the referee's given a free kick in any case against West Ham. Felt there was a foul in there, referee Simon Hooper, and That was dealt with. Oh. Mopay and Kevin Nolan, the assistant of West Ham, having a good go at each other there at half-time. Just as returning from to the pitch there moments ago. Interesting. Here's Ivan Toney. Ball out to Keane Lewis Potter from Mopay. Potter looking to deliver it in. Ball in. Toney was trying to dive at it but cleared away. Jensen flicks it up into the air. Taken down beautifully by Reguilon on the left hand side. Trying to burst past Sofal but went to ground too easily there, and Sofal wins the ball back. Kudus. Oh, the referee here has had to stop the game because Ben Mee's just gone down off the ball, so he will receive treatment. Doesn't look good. It looks innocuous. He's just gone down off the ball. See what happens here. It doesn't look good for Ben Mee. He might have to come off here. We will see. Of course, he'll receive treatment in a moment. As the physios from Brentford just coming on. It looks like Thomas Frank is. There's a bit of movement on that Brentford bench. We'll see how they deal with this one, of course. Options. They do have options. In terms of who to bring on, they do have Nathan Collins on the bench, who can step in at centre-back for Brentford, the Republic of Ireland international, if they do need to make that change, although Ben Mee receiving treatment at the moment. We'll see how he deals with that. So it's been a pretty stop-start start to the second half. Actually, looks like Vitaly Janelt is readying himself on the sidelines. He's another option in that defence. There might actually be a double change coming here. It's Collins and Janelt that are getting themselves ready, so we'll see how Brentford deal with this. Seems like they're reacting with a double change, which is interesting. It's an interesting approach. Thomas Frank just chatting with his assistant. Ben Mee's back to his feet, holding the water bottle. And we'll see if they're just going to take him off as a precaution here, because he's back to his feet and he's walking okay. He's taking some tablets, I think, for a bit of pain. But it does look like... Oh, it doesn't. So Janelt's just warming up on the sidelines now. After putting his shirt on, he's now warming up. And we're back underway. That was strange. Very strange. I mean, they were ready to make the change, Brentford, and then at the last second, Ben Mee gets to the floor. He's back on the field, back playing. And Janelt just puts the bib on to get ready to get warmed up as West Ham try and break into the box there, but Brentford scramble it away at the last second. Paquetá brought down, but referee gives nothing again for Lucas Paquetá there, and it'll be just a goal kick to Brentford. It's not been the most conventional of games. Just seeing Ben Mee there. Keep an eye on himself. Must keep a close eye on Ben Mee. It's Flecken. Goes long from the goal kick. Tried to find the head of Ivan Toney. It bounced all the way through to Sofal, who cleared it away, but Brentford have it back, and Toney trying to work it forward, but Zuma in the way of it. Nicely taken down by Onyeka. Lewis Potter now. Back to Zanka. Norgard finds Lewis Potter. Good move by Brentford. Potter with the early ball in. Toney was diving for it, missed it. And I went all the way through for the goal kick, but that was a really good delivery. Threatening delivery from Keane Lewis Potter on the right-hand side. And diving for it was Ivan Toney, desperate to get on the end of it. And it just inches ahead of in front of him as he goes for it, and it just bounces its way through and behind for a goal kick. But inches of a difference there, and that could have been 2-2. Or at the very least, would have been danger towards Areola's goal. Nonetheless, it goes out for a goal kick, and a challenge there by Zanka. catching Lucas Paquetá, and he gets the booking there, Zanka, for that challenge. He felt it was a bit of a harsh decision by the referee, but he is. Oh, it's high boot that. See it on the replay, yeah. It is a yellow card for the high boot. And the Brentford centre back. His first of the season, which is quite remarkable at this point. Zuma to take this free kick just inside the Brentford half. Spreads it wide to the right hand side. Chested down by Kudus. Lovely control by Kudus. And on the spin. And Reguilon. Foul given against him. He's on a yellow card here, Sergio Reguilon. And he's actually can't believe that he's had a free kick given against him. He's genuinely, like, in shock. I mean, it's Souček on the spin, and I mean, he's nowhere near the ball. What do you expect? It's not like he's new to Premier League football. He knows. He was nowhere near the ball. It was a free kick. Need to watch himself, Reguilon. He is on a yellow card, and if he keeps doing those types of challenges, he might see it. You know, he might have an early kind of hacking off the pitch. Free kick taken by Ward-Prowse. Bowen with the header straight up into the air, and he tapped it out for a goal kick. Jared Bowen there tried to win a corner, but could only boot it out of play himself. Here's Christopher Ayer for Brentford. He's breakaway by Tony. Lets the ball come to him, but the pass is misplaced. Onyeka couldn't latch onto it, and Paquetá does well. Finds it to Emerson. Loses his balance and gives the ball away to Ivan Toney. Now Lewis Potter on the break. Chance for Brentford here. Kuhn Lewis Potter, nice touch. Takes it into the box. You can just see it across, but lots of retreating West Ham bodies get in the way of it and have it back. But they cannot find a way out at the moment. That's good from Norgard to have it back. Lewis Potter, who's causing a threat down that right flank. Tony with an awful first touch there. Gives the ball back to West Ham as Bowen. Kudus, his touch got away from him. But Sofal rescues it and gives it back to Areola. Seems to be that kind of topsy-turvy kind of ping-pong football at the moment. Neither side can regain kind of meaningful possession of the ball. It seems to be it's a misplaced pass every couple of passes, and the other side just win it and try and go up the other end. It's both are in that kind of counter-attacking mode again, where they're countering the counter, and it's endless. There's Paquetá there. Had the ball taken off him, and free kick given it, or the goal throw-in, sorry, given against him. As Jensen plays it back to his centre-back, Ben Mee. Goes back to Flecken. Has to go long as he was pressed there by Bowen. Zuma wins the first header, well, nicely, but straight back to Brentford players. Zanka brings it down. Down the line to Potter, who wins a throw-in off Emerson. Better from Brentford. I mean, although West Ham have had kind of probably the better the chances, and Brentford are struggling to kind of create in the final third, but their most kind of threatening player is Keane Lewis Potter. I mean, he's been fantastic down that right hand side. He's been their main attacking outlet so far. I mean, those crosses look threatening against West Ham. Here they come nicely again, and here's Tony, lays it off to Lewis Potter. Lewis Potter with the delivery. Mavropanos in the way of it. Jensen with the ball in. Headed away by Kurt Zuma. But West Ham battled away, and Brentford have it back. They're growing in confidence, building the momentum here, the visitors. That equalising goal seems more likely than a West Ham third at the moment. Although Brentford haven't had a clear-cut chance at goal, they're building it. Here's Lewis Potter again. Tries to go himself, and the ball takes a bit of a deflection off Alvarez and bounces into the hands of Alphonse Areola. David Moyes having a chat with his assistant, knowing that the kind of momentum swing is going the way of Brentford at the moment. Asking his side to kind of not commit so many bodies forward at once. That's really nice from Souček. Finds Bowen on the run. Flicks it around the corner. Paquetá couldn't get it quick enough, and well dealt with by Brentford as Lewis Potter has it. Down the right hand side, Onyeka keeps it in play. Skips past the challenge. Breaks past Ward-Prowse, but Ward-Prowse does well against him. Although I felt that was a free kick surely against Onyeka, but the referee didn't give it. As West Ham pressured by Souček. Jesus. And Areola in a difficult position. Having to clear his lines, but under pressure. And here they come again, Brentford. Lewis Potter. Back to Onyeka. Cross. Shot from distance from Region. I think it did take a deflection. But again, yeah, it does take a wicked deflection. It does go wide, but again, Brentford again are not happy because the referee felt should have given a free kick. I mean, Onyeka was kind of well physical battled off the ball. I felt it was a clear shove in the back of Frank Onyeka by Ward-Prowse, and that's why my tonation went up, because I was expecting the whistle to go and a free kick to be given, but they didn't give it. The ball played on, and now Brentford have a corner, so maybe it's worked out better, but still not happy with that decision initially, Brentford. They have a corner though, left hand side. Jensen over there to deliver it, I think. Right footed delivery in. Paquetá up for the header, clears it away. Not fully though, but booming clearance by Sofal gets it away. As Norgard tries to head it back into the danger mix. But Ivan Toney has it down. Lifts it over the top, trying to find the run of Lewis Potter. Cleared away. Region keeping it alive. Alvarez in the way of it. And Sofal battling. Kudus beating off the ball, and Brentford have a throw in. I mean, West Ham struggling to get the ball away from danger at the moment. Here's Ben Mee slaloming his way through. As again, Brentford just overstepped the mark, and West Ham get a foot in the way and clear it away. But it's time and time again, they just can't get the ball convincingly out of their own final third at the moment, West Ham. Brentford come back at them time and time again, and the pressure's starting to build. And the more opportunities, the more the ball that Brentford have in that final third, the more confidence the more confident they'll get, the more belief that they'll get that they could get the equaliser here. Here's Lewis Potter. Can't find the first time ball, but battling to win it back. But Paquetá wins that battle as he tries to break his way through and gets a throw in off Christian Norgard. As Brentford are going to make at least one change for the moment, because Ben Mee has gone down again, and that is surely his night over. He knows it himself. He's not even getting treatment. He knows. And I mean, to be honest, keeping an eye on him, he's not been the most comfortable of movers since he went down the first time about 10 minutes ago. He's not been moving freely, but there's a bit of a limp in his movement, and that's why he will leave the pitch, and Nathan Collins will come on in his place. So Collins on for me at the back for Brentford. Well, just around the hour mark. So 30 minutes to go. West Ham 2, Brentford 1. West Ham with a throw on the left hand side, just inside the Brentford half. And what West Ham need to do at the minute is kind of keep the ball out of their own kind of defensive area. They need to try and regain control of this, because the game has absolutely been taken away from them at the moment. They need to regain a bit of composure and a bit of control. That's lovely intricate football again between Bowen and Paquetá, but Bowen gets it back and he's dispossessed by Onyeka. So he tries to get Brentford on the front foot. Lays it off to Ivan Toney, does Onyeka. Over the top, Lewis Potter continued to run. Chests it down, takes a touch, but couldn't get the clean connection on it. Keen Lewis Potter, and the touch just escaped him. Allowed Areola to regain control of the ball. Well, I did say that Brentford have won all 5 previous meetings between the two teams in the Premier League. Actually, hold on. Here's Kudus. Breaking into the box. Gets a deflection off Collins. Corner to West Ham. It gets an applause from the home crowd. But their last meeting here at the London Stadium was a 2-0 win for Brentford. Clean sheet for the home side, or the away side on that day. 2 goals in the first half. They've scored 2 goals in both of their previous visits to the London Stadium. They've kept clean sheets in all but 2 of their 5 wins against West Ham. The corner comes in, flicked on. Zuma was the closest, but headed away by Brentford and out of the danger zone as Jensen tries to get them forward. Nicely won back by Emerson. Finds Paquetá. Now Emerson. Bodies quickly retreated there from West Ham. They escaped that 18-yard box as quick as they entered it. But Emerson does well to ride a couple of challenges and breaks into space. Finds Sofa. Now Kudus, who can run at the defenders again. Kudus chips one in. Bowen with the hat-trick could lead West Ham to victory for the first time in 2024. Jared Bowen, the star man for the Hammers. Lovely delivery by Kudus, chipped it into the box, and Jared Bowen did the rest. Lovely from West Ham, and Jared Bowen on the hat-trick and gives West Ham their 2-goal lead back in this game. West Ham 3, Brentford 1, and it's certainly not been coming. You could argue it's against the run of play. Brentford have probably been the better side in the second half, but they couldn't find anywhere near enough in the final third. And West Ham, the quality they have in that attacking area, they were bound to get at least one chance in the second half. They've had it, and they've taken it. West Ham United 3, Brentford 1, and really good. And probably Sergio Reguilon being on a yellow card has played a lot into that, because he steps off and he doesn't want to engage with Mohamed Kudus, but you can't allow him the chance to cut inside and deliver a ball in, because he will punish you. And with that man up front, Jared Bowen, who's in firing form, well, tonight at least, and on the season for West Ham, will certainly punish you if he gets an opportunity. And he's punished them 3 times tonight, and maybe he wants more. West Ham 3-1. That's it's his 14th goal of the season. He's had 3 of those tonight, and he's taken the match ball home with him. There you go. And it might be West Ham taking the 3 points with them for the first time this season. Zanka. Brentford back to that mountain they need to climb. They responded well the last time West Ham scored. They'll need to do that and even better this time round. Here comes Mopé to try and lead the chase. 25 to go. 2 down for Brentford. Ball out to the left hand side. Reguilon on the overlap. Reguilon with the ball in. Onyeka! Good save by Areola. From the front post, and Onyeka, you just thought it was going to sneak in the near post, but really good from Areola. Mopé, beautiful ball down the left-hand side. So far, no contest. Reguilon with the ball in, and Onyeka breaking into the box. Leaps at it with his left boot, and it just looked like it was sneaking in the near post, but good save by Areola. Carries it wide for the corner. Good save by the keeper. Maintain that 2-goal lead for West Ham for the moment. But they have a set piece to defend. The referee's sorting a few issues out here for this set piece before it can be taken. He's dealt with that. There's a lot of congestion in that 6-yard box of West Ham. A lot of bodies in there. As the ball comes deep in again. Collins was close but headed away by Soucek. Reguilon keeps it alive in the mix. Man felt he was dragged down there. Oh, it was Norgard. And he's not popular amongst the West Ham players because... Oh, and... I mean, it was See the freak. We see it again. Headed in by Region. Flicked on, and I mean, what is that by Norgard? That is embarrassing. We've already seen a Premier League captain dive to the floor, wanting something this weekend, and Bruno Fernandes, but that is shocking from Christian Norgard. That is absolutely nonsensical. I mean, what's he doing? He's just diving to the floor. He throws himself to the ground, trying to buy a penalty. It's shocking. From the captain as well. Inexcusable. Kevin Nolan certainly making his views heard. Very vocal on the sidelines. The West Ham assistant. Not afraid to... in true Scouse fashion, not afraid to have his voice heard. Not afraid to share his opinion. Certainly not. And I mean, I can understand his frustration. I mean, it's an awful thing for Norgard to do. And here come West Ham again. Here's Ward-Prowse. Can they finish it off now? Ward-Prowse running at the defence. Kudus now trying to mix it all up. Couldn't get the delivery that time. Region did well to block it. Kudus keeps the ball though. Ward-Prowse now. Kudus breaks down the right hand side. Skips past two. Lifts it into the box. No one there. Falls to Emerson, who shoots. Oh! What a finish! That is top class from Emerson. Told to shoot by the crowd, and he duly delivered. What a finish into the top bins from Emerson Palmieri. Fantastic. Jared Bowen left it. Emerson took the touch on the edge of the box. The West Ham crowd called in unison for him to shoot, and he did so with incredible fashion. Great finish. Ward-Prowse and Kudus. Good link up down the right. Kudus just lifts it in again. Hopeful ball in. Half cleared by Onyeka, and that is an incredible finish by Emerson. He listened to what the fans wanted, and he delivered exactly what they wanted. Seen there was no one within 5 yards of him. Opened his left boot and found the top bins in the right corner. No chance for flecking. What a finish by Emerson Palmieri, who gets a West Ham fourth, and surely now could be carrying them to their first set of 3 points in 2024. 2 goals in quick succession again from West Ham. Gives them now a 3-goal lead at the London Stadium. West Ham 4, Brentford 1. Well, they're certainly making up from not scoring in their last 3 games by scoring 4 in 1. And there's still another 20 minutes to go. Here's Ward-Prowse, and they don't want to stop there, West Ham. It looks like they're wanting more. Here's Paquetá. Switches across. Time and space. Kudus with a poor first touch, but he will recover it. Retrieves it on the right flank. And they are comfortable and cool and composed as you like now, West Ham. Zuma. Alvarez beating off the ball. Nice challenge by Norgard. Finds Jensen. But again, stepping in nicely was Mavropanos to win it back. In the middle, time and space galore here for Ward-Prowse. Feeds it forward to Paquetá. And they're in the mood for more West Ham. Paquetá on the edge. Flicks it forward. Bowen in the area. Can't work an angle. Cleared away by Brentford. And Tony linking up with Maupay, trying to get them away from an 18-yard box. Brentford and not make the damage even worse than what it is, because there's still a good bit to go. Game's not done yet. Well, the scoreline surely suggests that West Ham should be getting the 3 points, but still a bit to go. And I'm not suggesting that Brentford are going to complete a comeback of all comebacks in the last 20 minutes, but never say never in the Premier League. As they have a chance. Man goes down in the box there. That's not a foul. It's not a penalty. And now West Ham on the break. Here's Bowen. Slim pickings in terms of options. Doesn't want to go forward too quickly. Plays it off toward Price. And they'll just manage this game now, West Ham. They want more goals, but they'll not break their necks to get it. Although here comes Bowen again. Tried to make a touch past Ayer, and he did well to break it apart. And Brentford retrieved the possession. Only for a moment, though. As Ivan Toney battled out of the way. Doubled up upon Ivan Toney. And David Moyes has certainly made comment of the fact that they didn't even get anywhere near him for that Brentford goal in the first half. They've made up for that now. Doubling up on Ivan Toney there to win the ball back. And the Ole's coming out, but a bit premature surely, because they've just given the ball away there. West Ham. Seeing the replay, the challenge there. Ooh. There's an argument there, maybe. Norgard felt again he should have had a penalty, but I mean, 6 of one, half dozen the other, really. And they're going to make a triple substitution here. Brentford, Mopé, Onyeka and Region all coming off. Vissa, Janelt and Rushlev all coming on. So as I mentioned, Mopé, Onyeka, Region off. Vissa, Janelt. And who else did I say? There's 3 substitutions from Brentford anyway. As Emerson has this throw in for West Ham. Throw in. Straight back out for another one. Keen Lewis Potter there. Heading it out of play. And it's Emerson's first league goal of the season. There's Ward Price going for one. From a long distance out. And a low and hard one towards Mark Flecken, who got right behind it and got a full firm grip on it. Not much of a real threat, that Ward Price shot. Certainly not a rocket of a strike, shall we say. Here's Johan Vissa for Brentford. Now Rushlev. Delivery into the box, looking for Toney, but cleared away by West Ham again. But nicely worked by Brentford to have it back again. Here's Janelt. Norgard. Out to the left-hand side. Lewis Potter, he's switched out to that left since Rushlev has come on. And he takes up the right wing-back position. Lewis Potter deputising at left wing-back. It was a good challenge by Nathan Collins there. On Kudus. Gives it to Lewis Potter. Now Wissa down the left. Lewis Potter goes for goal. But got good strike on it. But not too much of a threat for Areola, really. Right down the goalkeeper's throat there. West Ham readying a change. Looks like Mikel Antonio will be that change, as he's receiving information from Kevin Nolan on the sidelines. Wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world if it was for Jared Bowen. Jensen. Maybe give Brentford a bit of a consolation late on. Although West Ham are going to make that substitution beforehand. Brentford are also going to make a sub as well. But substitution for West Ham. It's actually not going to be Bowen. It's going to be Lucas Paquetá, who returned to the side tonight and has made a very good impact in the game. 67 touches, 86% passing accuracy. He's made 1 key pass. He's had 2 shots off target, and he's been involved in a lot of those duels, and he's won 3 free kicks for West Ham tonight. Crucial in that point. He's coming off, and he's been replaced by Mikel Antonio. And the substitution for Brentford is Mikkel Damsgaard has come on in replacement of his Danish teammate Mathias Jensen. So that's 4 substitutions for Brentford, just the 1 for West Ham. And the one that's crucial, where David Moyes doesn't want to over-risk Lucas Paquetá too much. So he's taken him off for Mikel Antonio, who himself is not long back from injury as well. So getting some firepower back in the side, West Ham. And this result will certainly help their goal difference, considering the fact that there's been many games this season where they've conceded quite a lot. 3 Premier League ones that stand out quite significantly, including that 6-0 defeat at home to Arsenal. But even before Christmas, big 5-0 defeat to Fulham will be one closely on the radar as well. As here's Mikel Antonio taking up the left wing position at the moment. Not often you see him off the left, but it's not often you see him do that either. Give the ball away quite easily, quite unforcefully, giving the ball away, but Emerson does well, tracking back, denies the Brentford ball forward, going to Mikkel Damsgaard, and West Ham have it back. West Ham 4, Brentford 1, going into the last 12.5 minutes plus additional time. Looks pretty comfortable indeed for West Ham here at the moment, considering the fact that at half-time Brentford would be quite positive, and the way they started the second half, Brentford, they were probably the better of the two teams. Come in the second half and actually asked West Ham a couple of questions. Not massive. I mean, I wouldn't say Brentford have had, other than the goal, a massive clear-cut opportunity at goal. They've lacked the ability in the final third tonight, Brentford. And credit to West Ham defensively. They've practically silenced Ivan Toney the whole night. I mean, he's had very little involvement in the game at all. He hasn't had a shot tonight, Ivan Toney, which is credit to the defence of of West Ham. They have silenced him so far on the night. Although they've given it away cheaply there at the back, West Ham, through Sofal. Here's Damsgaard. Fires it into the path of Toney. In the box, trying to work an angle, but body's in the way there for West Ham, as Antonio carries it away. Takes a touch. Time and space. Hasn't got the pace to catch that one, as Ayer comes speeding across and put it out for the throw-in. Final score from the FA Cup 5th round tonight, our first of the 8 FA Cup 5th round ties. And Coventry City have duly dispatched Maidstone United, the lowest ranked side in the competition, beaten by the Championship side Coventry by 5-0 on the night. Ellis Sims with the 3 goals in the first half, and Fabio Tavares with the 2 goals in the second half, to seal a 5-0 victory for Coventry, who are FA Cup quarter-finalists. We'll find out who they will face on Wednesday night when the draw takes place. Luke in the chat says, I'm depressed about what happened yesterday. Of course, the cup final. I remember, Luke, you were in the chat yesterday for the game. Heartbreaking way to lose a final in the last minute or two of extra time. But I mean, I could say only Chelsea could only blame themselves. They stepped off in the extra time. I mean, they were putting pressure on Liverpool going into the end of the 90 minutes. Before it went to extra time, it was almost Liverpool were hanging on for extra time at that point, and you thought, Chelsea need to go for this. Going into extra time, they need to go for this. They need to go full out pelt on Liverpool, and they didn't. They just kind of played for penalties, really, and they ended up paying the price for it. They got too defensive, allowed Liverpool to get confidence, and really their only chance of scoring was from a set piece, and they did. They scored from a set piece, Liverpool, and they won the cup. But I mean, credit to them. It's remarkable, the story. One that will not be forgotten by Liverpool fans anytime soon. And Chelsea fans won't want to forget it, or they want to forget it fairly quickly, actually. Although their tagline that has been put upon this team, there was talk of that pre-game in the feed here in the UK on the broadcaster about that tagline that was put upon Chelsea, the blue billionaire bottle jobs, which, you know, it's true. Harsh, but true. Back to this game in East London tonight. We were in West London yesterday for Wembley. East London tonight for West Ham against Brentford, a London derby. So far, I mean, going into the last 9-8 minutes, it's West Ham in firm control. But here comes Brentford. Wissa gets one back. And just as the last time West Ham scored 2 goals without reply, Brentford got one back. Who knows? Who knows? David Moyes shakes his head in disdain. Good finish by Johan Vissa. But again, too weak from West Ham. Souček just dives for the ball, puts it into the path of a Brentford player. I think it was Damsgaard, plays the ball through. And Johan Vissa, edge of the D, opens the ball, or opens his kind of body with his right boot and curls it into that bottom right corner. Lovely finish by Johan Vissa. Although, just as I say that, there might be an offside. I don't think he's offside there. It looks like Sofal's playing him on, but the angle could be deceiving. We saw a tight offside yesterday in the cup final against Chelsea. VAR confirming that it's onside. I mean, from the naked eye, it looks onside. And that decision has been ratified. So the goal will stand 4-2. And with about now 7 minutes to go with additional time. I mean, the slimmest of hopes. I mean, I don't think it's a chance for Brentford, but who knows? I said stranger things have happened in the Premier League. And they do have a goal back. Still 2 goals to get if they're going to get anything out of the game, but it's time. Still time. Damsgaard. Got it off Roujlev. Now to Norgard, and this will give Brentford a bit of renewed hope. I mean, hope and optimism is all they can have at the moment. Still 2 goals down, but you never know. West Ham struggled there to manage the late stages. Just a bit lax. Lapse of concentration. Just a bit too cocky. Not cocky, sorry. That was the wrong word. A bit too complacent, really, for their lead. And their manager will not be happy. As he did, shook his head in disdain at how his side just easily give a goal away. But here they come again on the attack, West Ham. Kudus. This is where they look impenetrable, West Ham. When they do pile on the pressure and they do get into those attacking areas, you don't let you out. Although they've given it away there quite poorly. Again, a simple ball. Here's Damsgaard. Now Vissa. Lewis Potter. Finds Janelt. Is there late drama at the London Stadium? Would be remarkable if they do it. Roujlev. Ball not cleared away by West Ham. Up in the air by Souček. Battling was Ward-Prowse. Beaten off the ball though. Here's Vissa. Ball across. Blocked. Well defended by West Ham. But again, here come Brentford again. Zanka. Norgard. 5 minutes plus additional time to go. West Ham 4. Brentford 2. They get one now. There very much is a chance that the game is back on for Brentford late on here. Here comes Damsgaard. Tried to thread it through for Vissa, but blocked and cleared away by West Ham again. I didn't expect to be this kind of hyped for the final 5 minutes, considering where the scoreline was, but you never know. That's the way the Premier League football is being. You can never predict what's going to happen next. Never at all predict it. It's Brentford holding the ball, and you need to move quickly. As time is against them at this late stage. Roujlev. Will he go for the ball in, or will he take his time? Cuts it back. Zanka with the ball over the head of Vissa, and West Ham do get it away. Ward-Prowse. Antonio. And then booted up the field by Emerson. Headed back into the danger mix by Ayer, but Alvarez breaks it apart, and here come West Ham again. Kudus taking the step in, gets into the box. Kudus over the bar. That really would have put the game to bed if that had gone into the back of the net there for Mohamed Kudus. He's had quite a number of shots tonight. That's his 6th shot, but his 5th off target. He's only had 1 shot on target all night, Mohamed Kudus. Not the most accurate of nights for him. Here's Damsgaard. Finds Ivan Toney. Ruzlev. Back to Toney. Now Ruzlev again. Back to Ivan Toney. Time and space given here to Brentford. Ruzlev cuts it back. Couldn't get it into the path of a Brentford player, but Toney wins it back. Runs into trouble as Antonio tries to carry it away. And it will go out of the way. Antonio wanted the throw in, but it goes Brentford's way, I think. On the right side, 2.5 minutes of normal time to go, plus the additional time. And West Ham under a bit of pressure here, despite the 2-goal lead. Damsgaard. To Janelt. Now Norgard. Looking for the ball forward. West Ham have a lot of bodies back. Collins. Nice fainted ball through, but the heavy touch from Ivan Toney puts it behind for the West Ham goal kick. And Brentford's hopes of a comeback of all comebacks is slowly but surely fading away in the late stages of the London Stadium. And the goal of the night, just seeing a replay of it, what a finish by Emerson. I actually got a smile from David Moyes, a rare smile from the Scotchman. Did get a smile and gave West Ham a firm grip of the game, getting a 3-goal lead. Well, despite the Vissa consolation, seems like at this stage it might only be a consolation for Johan Vissa and Brentford, but the Emerson shot was cracking. Absolutely wonderful. Alvarez giving away a free kick there, and he's booked for that challenge, just pulling Vissa to the ground. Yeah, it is a free kick, and a yellow card, his 9th of the season. Not a stranger to yellow cards, as shown there. Edson Alvarez. Last minute of the 90. Flecking to take the free kick from the centre circle. Lifted into the box. Away by Soucek first time. Back into the mix. Vissa with the chest down. And goes down, but the flag goes up against Johan Vissa. And a free kick will go West Ham's way. And we'll see how much additional time will be added on. West Ham will now look to just comfortably see this one out, but for a moment or two, in these last 10 minutes, it's looked a bit more uncomfortable than comfortable for West Ham, let's be honest. And the Brentford fans a bit subdued. I think West Ham fans wanted to get going, because that stadium in the far side is emptied in this second half. I thought they were all just going out at half time, but I think they're probably a bit too cold. 7 added minutes at the end of the 90, which is a bit excessive really, let's be honest. No need for that. But 7 added minutes is the number that Simon Hooper and his assistants and the fourth official have probably decided upon. Vissa. Poor ball there. Given away to Bowen. Has to cover back to Emerson, who goes long. Antonio now taking that more central role. Linking up with Bowen, who keeps control of it beautifully, Jared Bowen, but then the good challenge by Christian Norgard to win it back for Brentford. Damsgaard. If they do get one, there still is time. Vissa. Johan Vissa chips it in over the head of Ivan Toney in there, and West Ham, not convincing that clearance, and Emerson scoops it away again. Janelt to win it back. Again come Brentford. West Ham struggling to keep it away from danger as Ruzlev with a cross just overhit it. But comes in and wins it is Lewis Potter. Space on the left. Norgard to Zanka. Lifts it into the box again. Tested down by Collins, lifted in, and looking towards Tony, but away by West Ham, but only as far as Norgard. Again, they just can't get it away, West Ham. And the more and more this pressure piles on, the more and more Brentford believe that they can get a goal and maybe, you never know, steal a point. But at the moment, they let themselves down there. Brentford, a cheap giveaway to Bowen, as Kudus was held off there. The referee didn't see a foul, as Brentford have it back. Norgard. 4.5 minutes to go of the 7 added minutes. Brentford need to get their business done quickly as the ball comes in. Tony chests it, brings it down. Can he work a space? Plays it across. Norgard, and the ball goes wide, but it deflected wide. So it will be a corner. Janelt was the closest to that ball at the back post. Good cross in initially. Tony brings it down. Knows he can't take the shot. Plays it across to Norgard, and then a deflection from Zuma. Janelt was close at the back post, but it will be a corner. 4 minutes to go. Another corner for Brentford. Right-footed delivery. It's low this time and headed away at the front post by Vladimir Sofal. Right for the throw-in. Kind of anticlimactic corner that from Brentford. And they're going to make another change here. West Ham, and it's going to be another defensive one. Mohamed Kudus is going to make way. He's going to be replaced by Ben Johnson. So, although Ben Johnson has actually been a right winger on occasion for West Ham, I think he'll just add to the defensive numbers and just manage this game out to Brentford. A Brentford defeat and a West Ham victory. Brentford certainly having a lot more of the ball, especially after they got that goal back from Vissa. But still a long, long way to separate these two teams. 2 goals is a lot to get in 3 minutes. Looks unlikely at very best, but West Ham are again playing themselves into trouble. I mean, that's an awful ball out. They're just gifting the ball back to Brentford time and time again. Let's see what's coming up next for these two teams. Well, it doesn't get any easier for West Ham. They're back in action on Saturday lunchtime. They've got Everton away. Head to Goodison Park before they're back in action in the Europa League the following Thursday. Oh, ball in. Saved away, and Roerslev the ball over the top. Great save by Areola. Just as I was talking, Lewis Potter with a nice delivery to the back post, and Ivan Toney up for it. Won the header and needed a good save by Areola. He wanted it more than Emerson. Toney. Good strong left hand by Areola. Got it away, and then Roerslev all over the top. It was deflected. The corner comes in and Bowen clears it away. That's a nice turn by Janelt. Skips away from the challenge. Referee plays advantage. Collins. Lewis Potter goes for goal himself. Saved by Areola, and then Toney blocked away by Emerson. Good defending again, but last ditch from West Ham. I mean, I haven't had a chance to say who's going up next. Everton away for West Ham next, and then they're away to Freiburg in the Europa League knockout stages the following Thursday. Brentford have another London derby. They're back at home though on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and a London derby against Chelsea, and then they've another London derby after that. Head to Arsenal the week after. So it doesn't get any easier for either team. And then the last minute, it seems like it's gone away from Brentford now. That seems to be that. Last minute, and West Ham have a free kick here, and they'll take their time because they'll not want to rush things. But it's time to decide player of the match. And I mean, there's no questions. Although Emerson got the goal of the game, an absolute cracking finish by Emerson, but it's Jarrod Bowen, without a shadow of a doubt. Jarrod Bowen again delivering time and time again for West Ham. when they get themselves in a difficult position, Jared Bowen always digs them out of that hole, gets them out of danger, gets them out of trouble. And he's done it tonight, and he's almost single-handedly carried them to 3 points here tonight. It will be their first win of the 2024. Well, Brentford will get a late free kick, but the 7 minutes is up. And just waiting the final whistle from Simon Hooper to confirm the result. I don't know why they're delaying this. You're not going to get anything, Brentford. Time's up. You've 2 goals to get, never mind 1. Flicking to take the free kick. Into the box, bouncing around. West Ham will have it recovered through Ben Johnson. And that's the final whistle from referee Simon Hooper. And a night where West Ham get their first victory of 2024. It's taken them almost 2 full months to get it. And at home, it comes at the London Stadium. They started the game in fine fashion with 2 goals from Jared Bowen in the space of 2 minutes inside the first 10 minutes to give West Ham a 2-goal lead. Mopai got Brentford back into it with a nice goal from nowhere with their first shot of the game. The second half, Brentford came out trying to push for that equaliser. They got themselves caught out. Bowen got the hat-trick, followed by a cracking goal by Emerson into the top bins to make it 4-1. And a Visa consolation, and that's all it was in the end for Brentford, a consolation. A goals galore game. Bowen with half of the goals tonight and taking the match ball with him home. And West Ham will be taking 3 points with them for the first time in 2024. And we'll be hoping that they turn a corner and make it a more positive end to this season than the way they've started this calendar year. And Bowen carrying them to their first victory of 2024 in an almost empty London Stadium tonight. Thomas Frank and his side, well, it's now 5 defeats in the last 6 in a difficult vein of form for them. Really not good for them at the moment. They're only winning the league in the recent times, coming away at Wolves. Since then they've lost now 5 of the last 6. Well, considering they've played Man City twice, Liverpool and Tottenham, it's excusable. But in terms of the league table, it looks bleak for Brentford at the moment. With a game in hand, Luton are just 5 points away from Brentford. Brentford have that buffer of Nottingham Forest between them and the drop zone. But it looks bleak, and if Brentford don't turn it around quickly, they can very easily be dragged into the relegation conversation. West Ham, on the other hand, they want European football again, and they're on the course for that. Level on points with Brighton in 7th, up to 8th for West Ham. A victory for the first time in 2024, and keeps them very much in the top half of the table and on a European chase. Final score from the London Stadium on this Monday night. It's West Ham United 4, Brentford 2.